Welcome back, dear viewers. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Hello Kuwait on KTV2, the family channel. And now I'm pleased to be joined by our distinguished guest in the studio, Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Balul, who is a content creator. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Hello Kuwait.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Now, sir, would like to start by talking what first sparked your passion for Formula One and technology. Was there a specific moment that changed everything for you?
To be honest, it first started when I had curiosity in how things work, especially technology. And when I started watching Formula One, I realized that it's not just racing and it's not just speed. It was actually engineering, data, and strategy all working together. That thing just changed everything for me, and I started to love that sport. And every time I watch it, it's not just racing. I'm trying to understand it.
I see. Why do you think Formula One is becoming more popular in the Middle East?
Basically, now in the region, we have a couple of races, like in Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Bahrain. And people are not just watching it on TV, they're actually experiencing it.
Right.
So this is making the people fall in love with the sport, especially after the release of the F1 movie.
Yes, that's a very popular, and maybe our dear viewers can catch that as well. Now, I'd like to ask you, how do you see artificial intelligence? You know, this world with AI, it's rapidly expanding and increasing. How do you see AI transforming Formula One in the next 5 to 10 years?
Probably it's going to be more precise. All the stuff that's going to happen in Formula One are going to become more precise within the data, within the strategies, and like the pit stops, all the stuff related to the data. Even like the races, most of them are decided by the strategies. It's not just about who's driving the car and which one is the fastest car. It's all around the data.
Is it fair to say it will be more efficient? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, and you can teach me this, of course, in the beginning, it used to take a long time in the pit stops, and they try to cut those times. So do you think AI will maybe make it more efficient?
It's hard to say yes, because now they're doing their best they can. Maybe if it was robots doing the pit stops, but still the human error actually provides the exciting of Formula One.
Really? That's very interesting. Now, in your opinion, what's the most underrated piece of technology currently used in Formula One?
Tires.
Tires?
Yes. Everyone thinks about the engine.
Right.
But it's actually the only thing connecting the car to the floor or the track is the tire. And if you manage your tires properly, you can win the race. And if the races depend on the pit stops with the tires management, like it's gonna become a better
efficient, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting answer, an unexpected one too, because you know, when somebody says technology, you think about computers, but the fact that you said tires really is surprising, pleasantly surprising. Now, speaking of technology, back to AI. Do you think AI could eventually outperform human race engineers in strategy decisions? Why or why not?
It could help the human choices, but it cannot affect the emotions or the experience that the workers or the engineers have in Formula One. So the most it can do is actually help them, because it's going to be a tool, not a replacement for them.
Right. There are, you know, different nuances, of course, and maybe things AI could never reach when it comes to the human factor. So I wholeheartedly agree with that, of course. So we talk about data analytics, right? How does data analytics influence race outcomes more than people realize?
Actually, it's most of the races, like the management and the strategies, depend on the data, like the pit stop timings, the strategy, defensive options, like when you're on a race, when to defend, when to let go, This all depends on the data that is provided, of course, with AI in Formula One.
Right. Now, Abdul Aziz, if you had access to unlimited AI tools, right, what innovation would you introduce to Formula One?
I would provide for the fans interactive insights. As an example, when you're watching a race, the probabilities of who's more likely to win, the pit stop timings, like when is the pit stop gonna happen, and also like the strategies that could be implemented during a certain race. This would make it more an interactive experience for the fans.
Right. How important are the fans?
Extremely important. They're everything in Formula One.
Right. Do you think they drive the popularity, let's say, of the sport?
Yes. Before, like in the start of 2000s, Formula One had a big drop in race watches and people just following the sport. And they had to improvise with the marketings and sponsorships to get the fans back, because they were losing a huge amount of money.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting. Now, but when we speak about driving the promotion aspect of it, let's say, you know, with this new generation, do you think younger audiences help that even more? Especially that younger audiences are more, you know, social media savvy, let's say. So they know how to use the social media better, and maybe they are getting free promotion of the Formula One, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so is it fair to say that they are playing a big role?
Yeah, they're trying to play a big role. Even with the teenagers, they're promoting like famous people. They're bringing them to the races,
Right.
so that the young generation could watch the races just because of these the people who they idol, or the famous celebrities.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What similarities do you see between competitive racing and the fast evolution of AI technology?
Actually, it's really similar. Like in Formula One, teams try to develop stuff in small steps to achieve the better outcome. And even AI, it's growing slowly, but in every small step, after that, you're going to get a huge upgrade.
Right.
Yes.
Well, Abdul Aziz Al Balul, we'd like to pause there, as we do have, of course, a report to show our dear viewers. Dear viewers, as usual, everyone behind the scenes have been working diligently to bring you the best content, and with that, they have prepared. Welcome back, dear viewers, and of course I am pleased to be joined once again with our dear guest in the studio, Mr. Abdul Aziz Al Balul, who is a content creator, and we are talking about the lovely sport of Formula One. And now I would like to ask you, sir, how do you simplify complex technical topics for your social media audience without losing depth?
I try first to remove the complexity, the unnecessary complexity from it. And then I try to explain it in a natural way. It's just like I'm talking to a friend. And if someone understands me in 60 seconds, I've done my job.
I see, yeah. That's a good strategy, of course, to have. Now, we go back to talking about the F1, you know. It's a very fascinating topic. It's a huge sport now, worldwide, but we'd like to talk more specifically regionally with the GCC. So has the GCC have any impact, especially in recent times?
Actually, currently in Saudi Arabia, they're building another track in Al Qadiyah, and it's gonna be like one of the best tracks worldwide, because it's gonna have like a high stories and like multiple stories for the layout of the track. And even like we have a couple of content creators from the GCC. They are really promoting the sport. As an example, Car Review and Fahad Al-Raisi from UAE. And there's a couple of like
drivers? What about drivers?
Drivers. We have an Algerian driver.
Okay.
He's French, but He's actually originally an Algerian,
MashaAllah.
Isaac Hajar.
Oh,
Yeah.
MashaAllah, yeah. And he performs well in those races?
Actually, Isaac Hajar, he's the second behind Max Verstappen, so he's the second driver in his team.
I see. Now,
Yeah.
what's one common misconception people have about Formula One technology?
That it's just racing, and actually it's more complex than that. It's data and analysis, and everything happens actually behind the pit wall. Like the decisions of winning the race is not always on track. It's just on the pit wall.
Right. So, you know, we touched on this earlier, maybe you can elaborate, of course, and expand. But, you know, F1 is a rapidly changing, can we talk about if there's any significant changes recently, whether it's with the rules, what's the whole sport?
This season just started 3 races ago, and there was a big change actually with the engine. Now it's split 50 petrol and 50 electric.
And how does that affect?
Actually, it's affecting the fans mostly. A couple of drivers are complaining about that. It's saying like they're driving Super Mario, the game. And even the fans, they've lost some of the passion of the sport.
Has it become slower or what?
Yeah, it's really slower on the corners right now. The battery gets depleted rapidly.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So, how do you stay updated with both cutting-edge AI trends and motor sport development?
I try to follow races constantly, and even I join tech communities to follow the tech sides, also for the motorsport communities.
Would like to dive deeper into the history of F1, Mr. Abdulaziz. And can you tell us, where did F1 come from?
Formula One is basically a complex of ingredients, and it became a formula. It's just mixing a couple of ingredients to become a certain formula.
Like a type of chemistry, let's say?
Yes.
Yeah. And when was, you know, Formula One recognized as a high-level sport? I'm sure it didn't start that way. When was it actually taken seriously?
It started like in the 1950s. It started expanding and growing in Europe. This way it became like a bigger the biggest motorsport
In the
sport.
world? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you believe fully autonomous race cars could ever become as exciting as human-driven Formula One?
I think it would be more technical, but it's gonna be missing the driver instincts, which is the emotion, the risk. Like the risk factor is actually the exciting thing that makes us watch Formula One.
There's a sense of adrenaline and danger, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for someone new to Formula One, how would you explain why it's so exciting? We just touched on the adrenaline aspect. Maybe you can expand on that answer.
Basically, it's decision making driving under 300 kilometers per hour. That's
so huge consequences, right? And little time to make those decisions.
You need like a tenth or a thousandth of a second to make reactions.
Yes, and what advice would you give to young creators then who want to build content around tech and motorsports?
Just start, don't look for perfection, and if you provide value to people, they're gonna come back for you.
Absolutely, well said. Now, of course, Abdulaziz Al Balol, we do appreciate having you, and we thank you for your insights and joining us today.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Well, dear viewers, that concludes the interview with Mr. Abdulaziz Al Balol, who is a content creator. We do hope you enjoyed that. And now we move on to this report that we have prepared. Let's watch it together, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.